me, it's always been about walking away with no regrets. It's that constant drive of knowing that I've left nothing on the table and reminding myself why I do all of this. We all make sacrifices, but these sacrifices have a purpose. I'm Lightning player number 23, but I'm a sister, a daughter, a friend, and so much more than just a netballer. I owe it to the people around me to show up every day, in all aspects of my life. But although I'm willing to give it my all for the people I care about, I have to live with myself too. It's the duality of sacrificing it all, but constantly learning the importance of self-preservation. I've chosen this life, and it's through these choices that I'm learning who I really am.
A 9-week pay dispute between netballers and their governing body is taking its toll.
Players haven't been paid for 9 weeks, forcing some to sleep in their cars.
A bitter wage dispute that's been dragging on for almost a year.
Tara Hinchliffe is a Diamonds and Sunshine Coast Lightning player, also Vice President of the Netball Players Association. Good morning, Tara.
So obviously last year there was a lot going on with the relationship between Netball Australia and the players. Our contracts were up for renegotiation. The CPA was up to be renegotiated as well, which is always a big year. I think I started the year, again it was probably all happening at the same time as my knee, so I was having surgery and starting meetings in terms of thinking about where do we want the sport to grow, how can we all work together to get there. Last year I feel like everyone in sport learnt a lot, but I learnt a lot. I think just in terms of how to balance people's perspectives, but also seeing what people need and just trying to care for people throughout it all, and I think that was the hard part. I guess we had players, and not even like they're players, but they're my best friends, coming to me in tears because they didn't know if they could afford their rent for next week. And then we've got young players who are trying to move home or not having anywhere to live because they can't sign a rental lease because they don't have a contract to show that they've got a job next year. I felt like the whole year I was just like fighting for everything. I was fighting for my contract, fighting for rehab. And as much as rehab was a long process, that negotiation was way longer, I think, than any of us wanted it to be. I guess at end point we got to somewhere where it was really great, but there was a 6 months and probably a really key 3 months in there that was really hard. My knee wasn't doing what I was hoping it would do. The rehab wasn't going very smoothly. I couldn't picture like being able to run around on court. So I didn't know what I was fighting for anymore. I was like, am I fighting for everyone around me, which I was happy to do, but it was also hard to think I'm fighting for the future of the sport that I might not be going to play in. Like I wrote out my post to be like, I'm retiring from netball. I can't come back. My knee hasn't done what it's wanted to do. And I remember like just lying in that scan thinking like, if this is the end, like, are you proud of what you've got to do? That's when I guess I learnt deep in me that like I did have more fight left because I didn't want it to end that way. Like I wouldn't have been happy finishing the sport without giving everything to it and sacrificing everything and knowing I'd given it everything, and I felt like I'd got a lot from netball and I hadn't got it to give it back yet. My overdramatic head was fine, the scans were fine, and we got to sort of keep moving from there, which just gave me, that bit more purpose to keep going for the year. Yeah, growing up with a twin sister is cool. I think it's a weird question because I don't know what it's like to not be a twin, but I also know that no one knows what it's like to be a twin as well. I think we're lucky we're very, very close. We've done pretty much everything together. We got split up in school because we used to fight over how much we both wanted to tell mum and dad the same news at the end of the day. But I feel like that really sums us up because from then on, school we were separate, but everywhere else we were together. especially playing netball was a huge thing. I think just so much of my childhood is pretty much just netball with Maddie. My relationship with Maddie, it means everything to me. I think when you grow up with someone that you're so close with, I think back to straight away, our favourite moments are the absolute best moments of my life. We got to go travel last year and go to Canada, and that 3 weeks was unreal, getting to share that with her. But then I also think about, moving up to the coast was a huge one. She was raving about lightning, so I wanted to come up and experience it. She was living her best life on the coast. And then me coming up, I guess you always think, did me coming up stop her getting an opportunity up here as well? And I don't ever want to take something away from her just because I want something. And in hindsight, it worked out. She got to have a replacement play contract and we got to spend a full year playing together. And that year, I think we did take it for granted. We always kept saying, don't take this for granted, but I got to do my favourite thing in the world, which was playing netball with my favourite person in the world. And we got to have all of our family cheering for that one club, which was nice, rather than them having to feel like they had to split their loyalties too. But yeah, she's my best friend. She's gone through everything with me, and I think, I just love her. It's really great that we get to be back together now. My hope for the sport is probably just that the sport can grow and that the next, all the girls who are born this year, girls and boys, can play netball and see the game that we love. For people to not have to probably make so many sacrifices to be part of it, so that they can play netball, their sport, and show their strength and how fierce they are, have those leadership skills, and be able to dream of being a netballer like other little boys get to dream of being a footy player. And for families, I think, to be involved in that. For me, netball is such a family sport, and you want to bring communities and people along with you, and I feel like I just want to see the product be something that everyone wants to say they're a netball supporter, and they tune into the games and they see how much we sacrifice, they see how strong we are, they see how fit we are, and that we get to be seen as athletes, whether male or female, and that there's a whole, just a future for the next generation of players. It would be really exciting to know that they get to be where I get to be now, because I never thought I'd get to be here. I'm Tara Hinchliffe, and I am fighting for more.
You could
Ooh, you're scary. And cut. Done.